You all appreciate it. When I was young, me and my mama had beef, 17 years old, kicked out on the streets. Though back at the time, I never thought I'd see her face. Ain't a woman alive that could take my mama's place. Suspended from school, I'm scared to go home. I was a fool with the big boys, breaking all the rules. Shedding tears with my baby sister. Over the years, we was poorer than other little kids. And even though we had different daddies, the same drama when things went wrong, we blame mama. I reminisce on the stress I caused. It was hell, hugging on my mama from a jail cell. And who thinking elementary? Hey, I see the penitentiary one day. Running from the police, that's right. Mama catch me, put a whooping to my backside. And even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama. I finally understand for a woman it ain't easy trying to raise a man. You always was committed, a poor single mother on welfare. Tell me how you did it, there's no way I can pay you back. But the plan is to show you that I understand. You all appreciate it.
Bring it in. How we doing out there, Daddy's Ball podcast fans? This is your host, Randy. Frankie Rob can't be here today. He's on assignment, got some things going on, but we have a very good podcast for you today. Today, we're going to switch it up. It's not going to be Daddy's Ball. It's going to be Mama's Ball. I got two very special guests today. I have Jocelyn Mitchell, the mother of Isaiah Ford, and Romonica Mitchell, the mother of Mike Pickney. Now, Isaiah Ford, he was a Trinity Christian product out of Jacksonville, Florida, went to Virginia Tech, and now is currently playing at Miami Dolphins. And Romonica's son, Mike Pickney, he went to Raines High School out of Jacksonville and is currently playing out of, not Miami Dolphins, but Miami Hurricanes. So how we doing, ladies?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great.
Doing good.
What about you, Jocelyn?
Jocelyn doing real good. Can't complain.
All right, man. It's great to have y'all on the podcast. Y'all can give us a perspective that we never had before, and hopefully we can have y'all back. I mean, we're going to have some great topics to discuss. But let's go ahead and, starting with you, Romonica, let's go ahead and get an introduction of yourself and your son for us.
Yes, as Randy said, my name is Romonica Mitchell. My son is Michael Pickney, currently an upcoming senior at the University of Miami. He played here in Jacksonville for Raines. It's been, I won't say long 4 years, but actually 4 years have gone by quickly. I'm ready to see him play for this upcoming senior year with the Hurricanes and, hopefully move on to the next level.
Awesome. And which that he will do. And how about you, Jocelyn?
Okay, this is Jocelyn Mitchell. This is Jocelyn Mitchell, mother of Isaiah Ford. He's a high school graduate from Trinity High School. Then he went on to Virginia Tech for 3 years. He left after 3 years and was drafted by the Miami Dolphins, where he is currently now.
Okay. All right. So just give me some things as mothers, some things that is a little bit different in the recruiting process than maybe a male. Because the reason I asked that, because both of y'all was, head of the pack as far as in the household, in my opinion, of, the recruiting process. So what are some things that you go through,
This is Jocelyn. I'll go ahead and go first. I would say the recruiting process, it's a real tricky thing. You have to, even though you're the mom, you have to keep on top of what's going on with the different colleges, because once one college gives your son a scholarship, and it's like a trick to me. Like they play games sometimes, so you have to be on your A game as far as that team and that college and following. Why? Okay, my son had a offer from Florida, and then next thing I know, here come Miami, and then here come Florida State. So they try to compete with each other. And if you're not careful, you'll get drawn into, oh, I want my child to go to Florida State because that's your school. And what I try to do is weed out what I want and try to make sure I'm getting the best benefit for my son. And that's how he ended up going to Virginia Tech, although he had over 30 offers.
Well, just to piggyback off Ms. Jocelyn, it is a pretty tricky process. With Michael, it wasn't as much hard. Michael has been a Miami fan since a kid. That's been his dream. At 7 years old, one of the coaches at where he played, Pop Warner, Mike Lundy, he always says Mike told him at 7 years old that he was going to play for University of Miami. So that has always been his dream. Once he got that offer, he got plenty of offers. He actually, once he got that dream offer, he kind of shut everybody else down. The only thing that, kind of got tricky is when, in the situation with Mike's recruiting, we were in the middle of the firing of the coach. So that put us on the edge because, although we had the offer, not knowing who was coming in kind of played, maybe they may have not wanted him previous to the prior coach. But it wasn't much of it wasn't really hard because even though he had all those offers, that was his dream school. But and like Ms. Jocelyn said, it is, you have all these schools giving the offers, and they do try to kind of deter you from where you want, where the kid wants to be. And then you also have in your mind where you think is the best place for them. But I kind of put it in his hand. I knew that he was the one going to be playing. This is his dream, so I let him run with it. He got his offers, and that was it.
Oh, let's rewind back a little bit. Let's go back into, their youth. Because all of our kids actually were at least dual sport players. So what sports did Isaiah play when he was young?
Isaiah played mainly football and basketball. He did do 1 year of baseball. Well, he was pretty good because when you're athletic, once you learn the basics, you kind of go with it anyway. But he didn't like baseball because he got hit one time when he was at bat, and that was a wrap for the baseball. So he kind of just mastered football and basketball, and that's kind of where he honed his skills at.
Okay.
He started probably about 5. I had 2 other kids, so the football, he kind of followed them, but he kind of wanted his own other thing that would be different, and that's how he picked up basketball at about 5 or 6 too.
Well, Michael has always been involved in football, basketball. He kind of mainly stayed between those 2 sports. That kind of kept him busy with AAU around, year round. Then it was pretty much football. He never really got into any other sports other than probably did a little wrestling and track and field. But he never touched on baseball, which I wish he would have. But mainly it's always been basketball and football.
And Romonica, can you talk about the importance of a community raising your child? Because you had people like Gail, Isaiah had people like Coach Maurice that really, was in their life on the basketball side. It's a lot of young parents out there that believe that, don't chastise my child, don't do this to my child. But how important is it that for a community to help, raise your child and trust in people to do the right thing around kids and stuff like that? How important is that for the community?
Well, it's always good to have that, that extra help from the community. Back in our days, they always said take a village to raise a child.
Yes.
A lot. Now I'm noticing, you don't have too much of that. In the early 2000s, when we were in the park, Pop Warner Park, we still had that going on. I'm kind of been out of the loop with Pop Warner, and so I'm not sure what's going on now. But it's definitely important to have those figures, especially Mike. He comes from a single parent home, but his father is pretty much involved. He's fully involved. He doesn't live in the home with him anymore, or at that time. So, it's good to have those figures. Although his father was there, it's always somebody in the park who can, latch on to and give him advice, who they'll look up to. Sometimes coming from a mom, they don't want to take it. They feel,
True.
a lot of boys probably feel that, oh, my mom don't know about sports, or my mom, what does she know? So to have that male figure in the park or on the basketball team who can kind of give some advice and give them some lead, it's good to have that.
Yeah. I'm gonna piggyback off of Miss Romonica. Isaiah had a few coaches that kind of were very influential. He had Toby Frazier. This is a high school coach at Paxton. He did have Maurice. He also had what's his name? He actually did football. He did started him off with Coach Ram. Started him off with basketball. Wanted him to play at Grand Park for football, but it just wasn't in it. That mother's intuition came over. I couldn't do it, but those three guys, and his dad was, he worked, but he was always in his life at his games from Pop Warner, just like, Romonica said, we wasn't together, but he still was an influential person in his life that helped along the way. And like she said, back in the day, the community did help. It was, hey, if my neighbor saw you do something wrong, they could chastise you. Whereas today, if you touch a child, you might, it's a fight, you might go to jail, and it's bad because these kids really need that community support. And I think that's one of the things that we're really, really missing with our youth, especially being a teacher. I see a lot of these kids are struggling. They don't have any support. Mm-hmm. They don't have any support at home. They don't have any support, period. And by the community not being able to rally around all kids that are and trying to push them into positive fights and positive things, that's why we got all this crime and the kids doing things that they shouldn't do. And we really need to try to see what we can do as a community, as a city, as a country to kind of get some of that back into play for these kids.
Yeah, that's why sports is so important, to keep kids off the street. That's very important. And I want parents to understand, like, it doesn't matter whether you're single parent or dual family home. It's natural for you to say something to your child and them not listen to you, but somebody from the outside say the exact same thing and them listen to them. I mean, I got kids that I'm mentoring now that exact same thing happens. So, like, I mean, it's just I don't know why it's like that, but I mean, it's like that. So sometimes it doesn't matter about how the final result gets done, as long as it gets done, as long as that kid understands he needs to do that. That's so don't have a attitude of, dang, why you listen to him versus me? It's just something that kids do. So moving on, what would y'all have to say about discipline in your kids? Because your mom is the nurturing person and stuff like that. But when you're really involved with sports, there's a lot of times where you got to have tough love on them. What would y'all say about that?
As far as discipline, I think in anything there has to be discipline in the house, especially in sports, because without discipline, you can't even get better if you feel like you can make a mistake and there's no repercussions. So I never had any issue with any type of discipline that my son was given on anybody's team, because I feel like if your team is not well disciplined, it's not going to really be a team in the first place. So it has to be disciplinary actions in place for different things on all teams, in schools, in the house. And I think a lot of times parents don't hit my child or don't talk to my kid like that, because all discipline does not have to be a hit. It can be, hey, give me 10 push-ups, give me 20 push-ups, and that's only going to make them stronger as a person and as an athlete, knowing that, hey, I messed up. There's some repercussions for my actions, and if parents are not overprotected with it, then their kid is not going to become the athlete or the person that they can be.
Okay, Romonica.
Well, yeah, and in that situation as discipline, I've never really had any issues with Mike in the park or how anyone disciplines him. I was always that stand back mom. I observed from afar. If it was something that he wasn't doing and they felt that he needed to do, if they were disciplining him by, like you said, maybe doing push-ups or just, sometimes you have some coaches that are, I won't say verbally abusive, because I'm not going to let anyone verbally abuse my child as in, cursing at them or anything like that. But as far as talking harsh and being, stern with them, I never stepped in when it came to that. I always stood back if it was needed. If I felt that it was needed, I will let them go ahead and give the recommendation that is required.
Okay, so
I never had that issue.
Okay, so going into high school, the kids have hard times and stuff like that. Can y'all remember any like hard times or any things where you had to just kind of step back, either let them go through something or you had to change the direction to help them get to the next level? I know one thing for Jocelyn, definitely. The decision to go football.
About the basketball, football thing.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because he was
and that was hard. Because he felt like he felt like basketball was his calling. Mm-hmm. And as a parent, then
and the city
and his dad not being together.
And the city of Jacksonville thought basketball was his calling. But go ahead.
And the city of Jacksonville thought that it was, everybody thought that it was his calling. So you got all these people in your ear. Like I said, you had great basketball AAU coaches travel the world playing basketball, and it was good. And I'm a firm believer of that. And I used to tell him that. And then we came to that road where he wanted to give up football, transfer from Trinity and go to Providence and play basketball for a time. And I just had to put my foot down. I was like, I just don't believe that's what God wants you to do. Like I told him, I said, I don't believe in one dimension. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You're great. It's not that you was not like you're good in one and you're better in the other. You're great in two sports. You don't have to decide now. I said, you let your fate be decided in the high school. Then whatever way it goes, it goes. But that was a real hard time for me and him, because he was very adamant, thinking that, hey, this opportunity, Providence is gonna pay for me to come over there, and I should just let it be. And that's when, as a parent, I had to really, pray and step in and ask God to say, hey, he's going to have to go through this time and understand that I have his best interest at hand, not the city, not all the basketball coaches. They don't know, And I tell them all the time, it's 50. It's like, in college, it's like 80 people on the roster. In football, for scholarships. On basketball, you got 15. I teach math. That's a 25% difference. No. However God lay it out, that's how it's gonna work. And then we tried, and he finally figured it out. That's it. And tell him all the time, hey, you use football to navigate your basketball. And we actually did that with the Virginia. That was why Virginia Tech was such a great offer, because they were willing. Actually, it was Virginia Tech and Louisville. They were actually willing to offer him a football scholarship and let him be a preferred walk-on for basketball. It never came to fruition, but if he really wanted to, it could have just got like football was just more demanding than he expected. And like I told him, it's not like high school. It's totally different when you get to college. And he made that decision that maybe I need to put all my energy into football. So it was not an easy situation. I can tell you that. That was a good long year and a half of fighting back and forth to let him know that, hey, you don't close that door yet. You're too young, and I don't want you to miss out on your blessing by listening to everybody else. So yeah, that was a long road for me.
Yeah, the days of Bo Jackson, maybe Michael Jordan, Tim Tebow, whatever, they're not really successful at two sports, but it's kind of over, because you have to be so talented and work on your craft so much playing these sports that it's really, really hard to do that in college, especially if you're trying to go to the next level. Now, if you're not trying to go to the next level, then it might be easier. But for just to let your parents know, for a coach to tell you, because they told Sean the same thing, he's going to play both ways, or he got an opportunity to play two sports at certain colleges. It's not like that. So they tell you that, and then once they get you there, things change most of the time. Well, let's move on from high school and let's go over to college. So, like, what in your opinion, and I got an opinion too, but what are some things that the kids need in college as far as like, you know how they say they got everything for them, everything's good to go? What are some things that they end up needing? Because like, Romonica, you kind of close, and then Jocelyn, you got a little ways to go. So is it a difference in some of the things that they might need being so far away?
Being so far away from home?
Yeah, being so far away from home. Yes.
For me, this Jocelyn, it wasn't so much that he needed any additional things. At first, he was more homesick, so I was taking. He wanted to come home a little more in this kind of free time he had, like the first 2 years. Mm-hmm. But that eventually started, phasing out. Like now, I tell him all the time, you get to Miami now. I can't. You ain't right up the street. I got to see you come home. But when at first when he first went off, like that first year was probably the hardest. Where he had to he wanted to come home and see his friends and kind of whenever they had time off, he wanted to come home. But as far as needing anything, I really didn't have to give him any additional anything as far as money, food, none of that. They really took care of everything as far as that was concerned.
Romonica, you got anything?
Yeah, I can't really say, I probably kept more tabs on them than needed. I just think that is important. Although, Mike always seems as if he has it all together. He's that type of kid that who is very sufficient. When he left, I always tell him, even being almost finished, he still doesn't come home. When he first went, he didn't come home. He's going on his senior year, he still doesn't come home. So he's very sufficient, and but I kind of still think that we still have to keep in contact with them, or keep although they've gotten to that college level and they've gotten older, you still have to kind of stay involved. I kind of and like I said, I probably do it more than I should, but because he's away from home, I feel that it still is needed. Although they go away to college, and they 20 and 21 years old, they still need that checking on. I think you still should keep kind of contact with them to see what they got going on in their everyday life. Although when you get to college, especially with trying to get information, I call down and talk to the advisors, and they're like, well, they'll give me some information, but it's not as easy when you're how they was when you in high school. High school, you can stop by the school, see what's going on, but with them being there, it's not as easy. But they still need that.
I was just gonna piggyback back off for her and let her to say that even though Isaiah is in his third year of NFL, we are moms. We're not gonna just not allow them to just not check in. And I know, like you, if you think you're doing too much and he's still in college, baby, I know I'm overkill, because I tell him I need to see your face at least once a week. I text him just about every day. And so if you think you're doing too much and he feels just in college, I'm telling you, it's not, because he appreciates it. I know he does. Might not say it all the time, but I know I'm way overkill, because I'm like, if I don't talk to you in about 2 days, I'm calling, I'm texting more than just my little good morning or whatever, because I feel like, I know you're working now, but you still need to be able to, have reality and touch other things, because you got a lot of stuff going on, and they're still young and they're still maturing. So the stress level, especially trying to make the 53 roster and all this other stuff that he has to go through, is high. And with training camp that started, I'm like every day sending him motivational quotes every morning right before he get up, right before he go to practice, and he always texts me back, I love you, Mom, blah, blah, because they need that. That's the help with the nurturing. That's the nurturing part that we're going to always bring to them. And I know that is a strong foundation of why he is successful in what he's doing. I still contact with them. Just because they've gone on to college, we still gotta do that check. I check email, I check text messages, I check
Instagram, Facebook. I want to see what's going on, and they need that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Man, y'all said a lot of good points. I gotta stop y'all for a minute because y'all saying too many good points. So check this out. So like you definitely, they're not grown at the end of the day. And I've been going through the process of trying to find agents and different stuff like that for Sean. So a guy really sat me down and talked to me and told me about how agents really are diverse. They would get into your family structure, and anything that you break up, you can take over and invade. So like if you break up the communication between the mom and the kid, or you break up the communication between the dad and the kid, you can get into his mind, and you seeing that in the NFL every day. I don't even want to name names, but it's so many NFL players that got money, and now they divided themselves through the agent from their parents, and they're going crazy. They're doing like some Mike Tyson type stuff, like going crazy, and that's what they do. Because what they understand, and what the dude said, he told me, he said they divide them and conquer them. They let them spend all this money, all these years or whatever. They get out of the NFL and send them right back to the parents without any money. So like you gotta stay on. You gotta stay into that stuff. You gotta stay into that stuff.
In regards to high school, when you leave from high school, when you get in the high school sector and then going off to college, even though I wasn't that parent, but definitely once they get in college, I know I see a lot of parents, or I know I've been out there with parents who kind of like to, try to, I guess, intervene with the coaching, like you were saying. Have we ever experienced anything with, having a hard time with discipline or anything like that? I've seen growing up in the park, or watching Mike grow up in the park, and even high school, you have a lot of parents who like to kind of tell his coach how to coach their kids. You see it a lot with the guys, but you also see it a lot with with a lot of mothers. I've never been that mother, but I will say I remember Mike. I'll give an example. I'll give Mike 10th grade year. He wasn't starting at linebacker. He had a guy in front of him. He was a senior, and the coach Wiley at Rain, he believed, especially if they're in their senior year, letting those guys get their reps and stuff. But the guy actually had some issues going on health-wise. And when Mike got in the car after the game, I said, Mike, why he not putting you in the game? And I said, I'm going to have a talk with Wiley. I've never been that kind of parent or mother who would confront a coach about playtime or anything like that. I always kind of, like I said, I sit back and observe from afar. But this time, I told Mike, I said, you know what? I'm going to say something to Coach Wiley because he should be playing you, right? So Mike was in the 10th grade, and he looked at me and he said, you better not say anything to Coach Wiley. And I looked at him and he said, I'm in 10th grade. He said, it's a blessing for me to even be on that field. He said, so you better not say anything to him. And I said, you know what? And I sat back and I said, you know what? You're right. And a lot of parents need to start, because when you get to college, you can't be going up to no coaches talking about why you ain't playing my kid, or why you ain't doing this, or why you not doing that. That's when, you ain't gonna have that opportunity. So all that goes on in these parks and in the high school level about, I feel my kid should be playing, or my kid ain't getting fair reps or anything like that. Once you get to the college level, that's out the window.
Yeah,
he really made me, sit back and observe, even though that had never been a situation before. But even for me to say it at that moment, when he said that, I said, you know what, he's right. Let it take its course. His time will come. In that 11th grade year, he was a starter after that kid left, and he was a starter and the captain of the defense for those next following 2 years. So, just wanted to put that out there. When you get on college level, all that's out the window. So all that, bickering with the coaches because your child isn't playing and all of that, you leave that in the park.
And that's where the transfer portal come in. Because like I said, transfer portal come in for two reasons. Because the coaches didn't tell you everything that was going on in that school, or you didn't do the due diligence beforehand to see what you had going on, or it's just something that's in you? Because it's a lot of people that they transfer in high school, they transfer in Pop Warner, they transfer in AAU, and that's just something they just not used to, just grinding and trying to get to that point, to get to that next level. And the thing about it, you got to grind. No matter what you're gonna do, you got to grind. You have to. It's a must.
I would say this for parents that are who kid is about to go to the college level, that they really need to do research, homework. Just like the kid, I said, hey, how many wide receivers on all these teams that you want to go to? The Florida, the Miami, the Florida State, the Virginia Tech. How many are seniors? I mean, your kid, especially our kid, my kid, Michael, Sean, these kids are used to actually getting there and playing. Mm-hmm. So they don't want to get themselves in a bad situation at college where you sit in year one, you sit in year two, you sit in year three. Now your confidence has swung down, and that's another reason why a lot of kids are in the transfer portal. You go into these colleges where you got seniors and juniors, and you're freshmen, so you got 2-3 years where you're going to be sitting and watching, and you're not used to that. And if you don't, as a parent and as the athlete, if you don't really look through that school, look what that school is capable of, what their depth charts are, then you're get caught up in that. Then now you're so angry because you're not really playing, and you know your skill level says you should be playing because they did recruit you, but at the same time you didn't do your due diligence. So now you're angry, and that's why you always see kids transferring from this school to this school, transferring this school to this school. I put it out there. This way you're going, this way you're staying. Even in Trinity, this way we decided to go. I sacrifice. This way you're staying. No matter what, you got to go through the good and the bad in order to get better. But if you can't go and compete, then how you gonna get to the next level anyway?
Yeah. And he was one of the people who started, that big turnaround at Trinity. Even though some people before him, but he was that first major one that started that ball rolling. Romonica, how was it with the decision of Mike not going to the NFL last year? I talked to him about it. I won't say anything about it, but I just want to know your opinion. So, you could have went to the NFL last year. He would have got drafted. So, how was that decision? How was that?
Well, it was for him. He had to. It was pretty much. I won't say it's hard of a decision. Our season, we didn't have the season that we wanted to have, but mainly, I think I was more because I was more on him saying, you need to stay, get your diploma. That'll always be there. He kind of for a minute. He kind of was on the edge. He didn't really know what he wanted to do, but I was still in the back, and that's why I said, plays, it's good to stay in their ear, to have your family, because listening to the agents, listening to everybody out on the outside, they were saying, oh, go, you should go. You could always go back to school later and get a diploma. Mm-mm. But I was still in his ear saying, no, you need to go ahead and finish this up, what you started, get this degree, and then after you get your degree, then you'll have a chance to go to the NFL draft that following year. So it was, for him, he probably, for me it was easy. But for him, he probably, of course, it was a hard decision. But with me standing here,
okay,
I wanted for him to make the right decision.
Definitely. So
yeah, that's key.
So Jocelyn, how was it in your case? Because Isaiah, he had one more year. He went and he didn't get drafted. He got hurt. So as a family backbone structure, how was that? Just kind of holding him up so he can get healthy and get back on that field at Miami.
Yeah, that whole thing was the decision to go ahead and go pro. I think that decision was kind of easy. We all did have, me, his dad, and his brother all kind of, had a kind of Jesus. I was with Monica. I really wanted him to get his degree but, you know, things were like, you know, you can get hurt, and you can do this, you can always go back to school. I get it, you can always go back to school. I get that part. But I told him it was ultimately your decision, whatever you think is best. You know, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. They're telling you how they feel, and then, but ultimately you have to make that, you know, you have to make that step. He did decide to go, but they don't tell you everything. You know, they tell you about, you know, the stats that you got, and you're the top ACC, this and that and the other, but then they don't tell you all the underneath stuff, the undercut, like the NFL draft day, and how you don't get no sleep, you up for 3 days, you just ripping and running, your body is just dog tired, you got meetings here, you meet half the night. I mean, and then when you have to run your 40, which is the main reason why he went so late, he practiced the 40 for 2 months, ran a 4.4. He's so mentally drained and did terrible at the combine, which in turn is why he's in the situation he's in now. So now he has to dig himself up out of the hole, and mentally, you know, it does get hard. And then he does get there and have a great camp his first year, and then here's some injury. So that's been a long road for him, a long road of recovery, because it's mentally, I can tell, you know the kid, I can tell, you know, mentally, you know, he finally got back up, and then he missed the cut the second year when he first got there. He was destined to be on the 53 roster, no point, you know, nothing. And then he missed the cut the second year, so it's really been hard for him mentally to have to keep grinding, because another thing they don't tell you as far as the draft is, if you don't go around 1 through 3, you got to make the team. It's not a guarantee for you. Mm-hmm. And that is, you know, that is the hand that he's dealt at, you know, at this point. So he has to grind every day. It's a grind every day for him. Point blank, period.
It is.
And, you know, but like I tell him every day, you know, hey, it's a job. They want the best people on the field. And if they already paying for y'all.
Really, the average NFL player is not going to be in the NFL but like 3 years. So if you can get a paid-for house, maybe a car out of that, and have some money in your pocket, you got the better start than most people do. Most people have to catch up 15 to 10 years to 30 years to what you got just being in the NFL for 3 years. So, like, if you can just get that, it's a blessing, you know. And then at the same time, it's a blessing anyway, because you experience so much in that small little bit of time that people just would die for that type of stuff. I also want to talk about, like, just breathing life into your kids, because like a lot of times we complain as parents and stuff like that, but like just like y'all was saying about sending those texts and stuff in the morning, how important it is to not baby them, but breathe life into them. Like, let them know that they can, show them what they can be in life, and just how encouraging it is to send those letters and texts and stuff like that.
Well, I know this is Romonica speaking. We have to be our kids' number one fan. I always say that. I'm number one fan.
Absolutely.
And I told him, I remember, I believe it was his sophomore year. It was around this time. It was doing camp, and you know, camp is real hard. It's very, you know, extensive. Yeah, strenuous. And I called them one night because they get up 4 o'clock in the morning and they don't clock out. I think last night I seen he clocked out from the gym about 11. So he's been going since 4 a.m. to 11 at night. And I saw his live, and I called him. I said, are you okay? I said, he said, it's hard. I said, well, I want you to know that if you want to come home and this is too much for you, and you want to come home, you can come home. If you're doing this for you, I want you to do it for you. Don't do it because you think this is what I want you to do. I said, if this is too hard for you and you want to come home, or you want to, you know, do something different, do that. I don't want you to feel that you just have to do this. And he said, no, this is what I want. He said, it's hard, and I'm just going to keep working at it. He said, I can't come back home. until I accomplish what I want to accomplish. I said, okay, well, I just want you to know, whatever it is that you do, I'm behind you 100%. And we have to make sure, because you see, I remember what it was, some instances I saw some kid, you know, this suicidal thing and all of this going around. These kids be depressed. They trying to make their parents make their parents happy, and they're doing it. A lot of them are doing it to make their family happy. A lot of them, their heart isn't in it. And I wanted him to know, you know, if this is not what you want, you know, let me know, or you come home and we could go from there. But he said, no, this is what I want to do. He said, I can't come back home until I get what I need to accomplish. So, but we have to, you know, check on them in that kind of way, because, you know, you never know what these kids are going on in their heads. They got a lot on them.
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Young men, a lot.
Jocelyn, what you think about that?
I just think that, you know, as a mom, you have to have that strong foundation of understanding the child. You know your kids. I have 3 different ones. They're all every last one of them different. I know when they're happy. I know when they're sad. I know when they're going through. And like you said, Monica, you saw us live, so you knew something wasn't quite right. Mm-hmm. So it take a tweet, Instagram, or something. You stay in touch with them, pay attention on everything, because kids are, you know, suicidal, because it is, some things are too much. And then I tell them all the time, this is for you. You don't owe me nothing. This is about making your life better for you and your family that's made in life. So I constantly checking on him and a couple of other guys that I met along the way.
We gotta stay. You gotta keep in contact. You gotta be aware of the signs.
Oh, that is a must.
That got to be saying.
That definitely is a must.
The mother's gonna know.
Oh yeah, the mother would definitely know before the father. I put you like that. And the thing about it that's crazy is you got coaches that's making $7 million, $6 million, all this money, and then. But the coach don't have to get up at 4:30 in the morning. They can have the assistant get up at 4:30 in the morning with the kids and do the breakfast and do the workout and go to school, and then to do the weight room, and then do the what is it? After the weight room, they do, you know, the watching the film, and then a workout, and then tutoring and all that kind of stuff, and then you get home and you're tired, and it's over and over again, and they spread it out to the point where you can't even go home and stuff like that because you're so busy. But if you ask local fans, you know, from Jacksonville, or you ask fans from Miami, or you ask fans from Virginia Tech, they would think that it's the best thing in the world because you get gear and all this kind of stuff. But it is a job. It's more than a job. It's more than a job, because
that little bit of gear that they give them, and no.
You're definitely right. And then, like I said, then on top of that, let them mess up 2 plays in the game. Are y'all the type of parents? 'Cause I know I do. Do y'all listen to the social media and some of the stuff they say to the kids?
Yeah, I hate social media. Is the devil, honestly. They say some of the harshest things. They just don't care. A lot of the stuff is just, I'm like, so Isaiah, for the most part, like during camp, he don't even go on there too much unless they send him something specifically. Mm-hmm. Because if you go out there right now on Miami, Dolphins, they got like 3 different guys that be out there. They have their picks, and this is what I'm talking about, Monica. The next level is so hard to stay in your character, because these people don't care about your child. It's about reporting stuff. They quick to say, not right now, they said that Isaiah always gets hurt and he ain't going to make the 53 roster. Just a whole bunch of stuff out there that's very negative and is very discouraging. So I make sure that I'm consistently on him. You keep working hard. Your gift will make room for you. No matter what none of these people here say, because they're not the author of your success, period. So
social media is very hard.
It's real rough.
Yeah. And even the ones who claim to be fans, if you're not winning, they against you. As long as you're winning, everybody's with you.
Oh yeah, you make one mistake, you'll see thousands of things. And what people say that come they say that come with success. But the thing about it is, how is success when you're just still in college and you're still a kid and you're not getting paid for it? How is this success?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. People want to be in your shoes, but they want to be in the people want to be in your shoes. Don't want to do the things they got to do to be in your shoes. For one.
They don't even know what it takes to fill your shoes.
They don't know
those kids, right?
Yeah,
Clueless, very clueless.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. It's a blessing, and it's something that you experience that's a once in a lifetime thing. But it is hard. It's very, very hard. And, and then, like I said, with the mental health thing, that's big in Ohio State too. You know, it's a lot of situations going on there. You know, that they don't even talk about out, but they changed some things around. Now they got some psychologists on campus. You know, talking to the kids, stuff like that. Because, like I said, you said the right thing. You said, you know, some of these kids been stars forever, and they go to the college, and the expectation from the parents and the people that know them, and it's not there right now. And they like, dude, why no, you better than him. Why that coach ain't you know, all this why? And sometimes it's just the way things play out. It's just the way things play out. So I got a question for you. So like having siblings and having one kid to be so blessed in what he's doing, does it affect the other siblings? And how, as a mother, do you kind of keep it under control? Because a lot of times those kids are looked at as the golden child compared to the other ones. So it's some things that you do to keep everything kind of straight, or do you not have that problem?
Well, I could say mine, because Isaiah was the baby, they always thought he was the golden child anyway. Because, like I try to tell them, when you got 3 kids and then you down to 1, you can sacrifice more when you got 1. You know, you can do a little more when you just got 1 to worry about versus 3. So my oldest, he didn't, he understood fully. It was that middle child. If you got a middle child, that middle child was the one that I have to constantly let him know that, hey, if I could have did it for you, I would have. I was not in the financial state where I could send you to a Trinity, because he felt like people went to Trinity, he probably went to college too.
A lot of people say that.
So you can't hold me, can't hold that against me for not being in a financial state at that time to be able to do that. I said, but it's not that I love him more than you. I just knew that financially I was able to just sacrifice a lot of me for him to be able to put him in a better situation, which is, and I try to bounce it off to them because he has kids. So this is what you need to do for yours. You need to put yourself in a better financial situation. So if public school is not working for your kids, you're able to put them in better places so that they can become better people. Because I teach in the public schools, but I know that Trinity was a way better academic school. Ain't had nothing to do with football, and that you had to learn that, you had to get it, that they make those students be held accountable there. Whereas in this public school, not in my class, because I don't play that, they are not accountable academically, and a lot of these kids are pushed through. Mm-hmm. So it was, I battled with that a little bit with that one, but eventually he saw it. So, when you get the fruit of your loins, where he goes to college and, he's successful, he can see the picture bigger now, some of the things that he needs to put in place to try to make sure if he needs to, he can make those sacrifices for his kids.
Okay. Romonica, I don't think you got the same issue. You don't have that issue, right?
No. Mike is the oldest, and then I have my second child, which is my daughter. But it is, in that fact, I think when you have she always say I put more. I've always she cheers, and with that first kid, I know I was there on everything. I was younger. I was at all the games. I'm in a new position. My job situation now is a little different, and I missed some of her games this past season, and she always liked to throw up, well, if it was Michael, you wouldn't have missed none of his games. So,
yeah, I hear you.
I said, well, I was younger then. I had more time. I was able to go to all the games. I said, now I'm getting old. I got to be to work. I can't miss no time. So she I got to pay for that $700 chili stuff you got to have. Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's true. I could count on probably one hand how many Pop Warner games I missed, or high school games at that too. But she always throws that in my face. Yeah, you missed another game, but you don't never miss my.
So I go into the next question. All right, so how important is it to check a coach, a trainer, an agent, or whatever, like as a female? Because I know y'all heavily involved in all those processes all the way up through, like even like in Pop One, all that kind of stuff. Like, you know how people try to fluff you, like instead of saying like what's going on to you because you're a female, they might just treat you in another kind of way. How important it is to go ahead, I want you to say this to the other women out there, to check that at the door so a person can shoot it to you straight all the time.
This Jocelyn, I would say, for me, I guess for the most part, I come off very strong when it comes to my kids. So don't look at me as a woman, look at me as a parent, period. And that's how I went at every visit and with every coach, with every trainer. I had the head coach number, the position coach number, the offensive coordinator number, the trainer number. So they knew if I felt anything that wasn't right, they knew I would call. Because I just, like I told them when I left my child, I said, it's 8 hours away. I felt real comfortable leaving him here. So anything my kid needs, I should be able to pick up the phone, call either one of y'all, and y'all need to make sure he get it because I'm way too far away. And I made that known on both the visits I went to when they came to the home visit. Coach Beamer, I had a firm understanding from the beginning. So I never felt like they tried to snuff anything over me, period, when it came to Virginia Tech. They would actually call me first because they were like, Adele, let me call your mama. Because they knew the strong presence I had as far as when it came to him and that I didn't play.
I hear you.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same as well this way. I didn't have to really deal with that. And when the recruiting process, when he had those, when a couple of schools that he did kind of, give a little interest in, they knew that they had to be, straight up. It wasn't, he can't play because I had already let them know, this is where he plans to go or this is where he want to go. Yes, we'll hear you out or hear what you have to offer, but, we basically, you're not going to play with him or make him feel that you have something better when when it isn't. Just don't try to just tell us anything. So we didn't really have that. We didn't have that problem because everybody was pretty much straight up. They knew they had to be straight up because most of them was trying to get him to slip from what he was already committed to Miami in what 10th grade. I think it was 10th grade.
Oh yeah,
right, 10th grade. Yeah, so they pretty much know they had to be straight and forward, so they can try to go ahead and get him to flip. So we didn't run into that.
Okay. So lastly, because we almost ready to wrap it all up, what would you say? Just a message to just somebody in your shoes. That you don't know exactly where your son or daughter's going, and you're struggling with them, and they have a little bit of talent, and you can see the talent in them. What would you say to them to kind of just keep them going and motivated to? Because a lot of people, whether you know it or not, both of you ladies, you got people, male and female, that look up to the situation that you're in and are interested in how it happened and some things that you did. So what would you say to them? Kind of finishing on off.
This is Romonica. I would say before they can even reach the level of college, and first of all, that they need to, or as parents, make sure these kids are academically ready. That is the number one thing. Being in the high school and watching all these kids come up when Michael was playing, it was sad to see a lot of these kids who have so much talent, but at the end aren't able to take advantage of this free money and this scholarship. Get these kids acclimated. Get these kids testing early, 9th grade. Don't wait till their 12th grade.
Absolutely.
Stay on top of their academics. That's the main thing I can say. The talent's gonna be there. But the academics, they have to be ready academically. Without the academics, there's no athletics.
All right, there you go.
None, absolutely.
All right, Jocelyn.
None, absolutely. I'm a piggyback off of Monica, and as from the teacher aspect, I see several athletes, and they have all these dreams, and I am very forward with these kids because of the relationship that I built with them. Well, if you can't do this algebra 1, college is not going to be the door that you're going to. You can start now because your foundation has to get stronger academically. And that's all around academically. You have to be able to, somebody has to be able to say, hey, go write me that 5-page paper. Nobody's going to be over your shoulder. You have to be able to bring it back. You have to be disciplined in everything in order to go to college. It's not just, I'm the star. I'm taking all the touchdowns. I'm throwing all the touchdowns. I'm doing all the tackling. I'm super 11. I'm super 24. I'm top 300. I'm ESPN. You're not okay. All that is wonderful and good, but if you're not academically founded, you're gonna be back home with us, and that's just the nature of the beast.
If you even get there.
And exactly, that's just the nature of the beast. Because I talked to several football coaches because when I was at a high school, so they would go see my son and then they would come see me, and then they were like, "Hey, any kids here that?" Because even when Michael was going through his recruiting process, Dugan came through there. Me and Dugan was really good friends. Still a lot of days, and he was like, "Who else you know?" They know. I talk to so many football coaches, and I tell them, this is what they'll tell you in a minute. Your film look great, but your transcript ain't gonna get it. I'm gonna go get this halfway decent football player, same position, whose transcripts are matching what I need. So they have to be academically strong if they're trying to go to anybody's college.
Yes, ma'am.
They do. That's why I really think they should change the requirement to the college requirement. So if you don't meet the college requirement in high school, I don't think you should play football. Because it's so many kids that they play football and they make the high school money, tell you the truth. Because they stars in high school and people come to see them and they don't meet the college requirement as far as the GPA or whatever, not even to speak of the test score, and they can't play. And people are just getting advantages off of them. I just hate it. But I really, really, really would like to thank you, ladies. This is the first Mama's Ball podcast. We're going to have a whole bunch more. And I wish the best for Isaiah, the Miami Dolphins, and definitely for Mike Pickney. Both of these just like my kids, you know what I'm saying? They family, and I appreciate y'all being on the show. And we will holler back at you later.
All right. Thank you, Randy. Appreciate it. Thank you, Monica. You're welcome.
All right. Hey, make sure. Hey, I think.